Hey guys, I'm Zach the Movie Fan. Now that I've seen pretty much every Predator film up to date, I figured it's about time to finally give this guy his own ranking video. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, as I said before, I'm a huge fan of this series. There are literally only two movies in this franchise that I don't like, and they'll be at the bottom of this list. Every other movie in this series, I really do enjoy. The Predator, to me, is one of the most interesting and fascinating alien creatures in science fiction history. Mostly because they're the only alien species I know who don't want to conquer Earth. They don't really give a shit about conquering Earth or enslaving humanity. They just want to hunt. They're basically the equivalent of big buck hunters, but space aliens. And I've always found that's why I've always found them so fascinating. The fact that the good ones anyway don't paint them as evil monsters. So we're going to rank all of the Predator movies. So, let's begin. Coming at the bottom, at number 9, and probably surprising nobody, is Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I hate this movie. It's why I'm ashamed that it's the only Predator movie that I own on DVD. You are free to boo me in the comments. Aliens vs. Predator Requiem is a dumpster fire. Not just as a fan of the Alien and Predator franchises, but it doesn't even work as a movie as a whole. Let's get the elephant in the room out of the way right now. This movie has some of the worst lighting I have ever seen in a big budget production. Like, I have literally seen low budget films with like not even half of what this film's budget was that have better lighting. The original Hills Have Eyes, a film that has lighting issues, like even that film has better lighting than this, and that movie was made on a dirt cheap budget. This is like $1 million production based on two of the biggest science fiction movie series of all time. Like, what the hell happened here? Apparently I don't know how true this is. I might have to look this up after this video, but I believe the guys who directed Requiem were people who worked on special effects. How can you work on special effects and not know how to do good lighting? The fuck? What? How? The writing is awful. The acting is terrible. The characters all suck. The location is dumb. Setting an Alien vs. Predator movie in suburbia is such a stupid idea. All the characters are teenage idiots, which doesn't feel in common with an Alien or Predator movie at all. And on top of all this bullshit, the movie also decides to kill off children, babies, and pregnant women. I'm not kidding. Children, babies, and pregnant women die in this movie, and viciously. And and that really pisses me off. I can't speak for everyone, but I don't like seeing babies or pregnant women die in movies. I'll only let it slide if it actually serves a purpose to the story. Take Alien Romulus, for example. There's a pregnant woman in that movie, and she dies, but it at least had a purpose at the end, you know? Like, they at least built it up to a surprise climax. When this film does it, there's no point to it other than just shock value, and I fucking hate it. Nothing pisses me off more than just doing shit like this for shock value. Like, that tells me that you're too lazy of a writer to actually use it for something important to the plot. And that pisses me off. I cannot stand this movie. the only redeeming quality it has, in my opinion, is the Pred Alien. This actually points to an issue I have with the Alien movies as a whole, at least with the bad sequels. None of the Alien movies really try to do anything creative by creating a new xenomorph species. Some movies have tried, like Alien 3 did with that dog Xeno, but it really didn't look that much different than the original design. You have that weird human hybrid thingy at the end of Resurrection, which just looked dumb. And I guess with Romulus you have the Offspring, but that's really about it. None of the bad sequels anyway really did anything that creative with the Xenos. This movie does though. Predator Xenomorph hybrid is a really creative idea. It has a unique design, and I actually am happy that this thing has made appearances in other Predator media, whether it be comics or video games. Again, I would probably like it a lot more if I could fucking see the movie half the time. Outside of that one positive, I hate everything else in this movie. It's, I don't know how true this is, but I remember from Blockbuster Buster's review of this movie that this film was so bad it nearly killed both Alien and Predator franchises. Yeah, I'd believe it. Coming up next in number 8 is The Predator. Aliens vs. Predator Requiem is a worse movie, but I honestly think this film is more insulting to me as a Predator fan. Aliens vs. Predator Requiem is bad, but at least that film is not canon to either of the Alien or Predator franchises. This one is, and unless Disney plans to retcon it in the future, which Disney, please for the love of God, do. This is canon, and I hate it. The worst part about this movie is that it doesn't even feel like a Predator film. It feels like a lame as hell comedy action flick, and none of it works. The characters are so obnoxious and annoying, which is a shame because it stars actors that I know can be funny. Keegan-Michael Key plays one of the soldiers and the main characters. I've seen some skits from Key and Peele. I know that Keegan-Michael Key can be funny, but good God, none of this material is good, especially because it's all the same joke throughout the entire movie. It's just nothing but pussy jokes. I'm not saying that to be crude. That's 90% of the jokes that they have in this movie. They act less like mentally unfit soldiers and more like a bunch of drunken frat guys. The worst part about this film is just all the stupid shit it does with the lore. Saying stuff like, oh, they actually collect human skulls to experiment with our spinal fluid, even though none of the other movies establish that. Saying that they can the Predator somehow managed to put bulletproof shit inside the human skin, along with the working biohelmet. They never explain how the fuck that even works without killing him. He's just pretty much a Predator version of Wolverine, and they just pretty much tell you to just go with it. I'm not only that, but the new Predator looks so dumb and has some of the ugliest CGI ever. And that's not even getting into how the Predator wants this autistic kid to experiment on him, because apparently autism is the future of human evolution, which is so dumb. I guess that they were trying to treat autism as a superpower or something like that. And you know what? Fine. I mean, people with autism do get a lot of stigma, similar to people with mental illness. So you want to find a way to support people with autism in your movie. That's fine. I only ask that you do it in a way that makes sense. Like, I mean, and I'm autistic myself, and I found that scene so damn stupid. Like, the worst part about this movie, though, is just, again, it doesn't even feel like a Predator film. It feels like a bizarre Elseworld story or something. It just doesn't work for me. I cannot stand this movie. And what's worse is that unfortunately director Shane Black took most of the blame for this film, even though I'm pretty sure that 20th Century Fox fucked around with a lot of what Shane Black wanted to do. Now granted, we don't know if the movie would have been better if it was under Shane Black's vision. I would at least say that if it was, it would at least be more consistent in tone. Like, I mean, I know that some people don't like Shane Black because some people don't like Iron Man 3. Like, I mean, that's the thing, it doesn't even feel like a Shane Black movie. You compare this to Iron Man 3, the difference is night and day. Like, that just tells you how much studio meddling went into this shit. Movies like this is why I'm glad that 20th Century Fox is dead and buried. For releasing shit like The Predator, Dragon Ball Evolution, the Max Payne movie, X-Men Origins Wolverine, and the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, nah, I'm not shedding a tear for those assholes. I just fucking hate this movie. Ugh. Thank God that the next Predator movies we got after this were a huge course correction. Ugh. Just so you guys know, from this point onward, all the other Predator movies that I do enjoy. So, for number 7, we have Alien vs. Predator. Now, I know that this movie doesn't have fans. And that's totally fine. In fact, I can see why it doesn't have fans. I can see why people can't get into this. But I've always enjoyed this film for what it is. It's real. The best way to describe Alien vs. Predator is it's a fun popcorn flick. Or, like the first Transformers movie or the movie Commando starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's really just meant to be a fun action movie. And for a fun action movie, it's decent. This movie was actually directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, and anyone who knows me by now knows that I cannot stand his Resident Evil movies. But I actually think he did a good job in the directing chair here. I think the acting in the film is pretty damn good, especially from the actress who plays Alexa. I really liked her a lot. I really like the setting. This huge pyramid at the bottom underneath Antarctica is a really cool concept and a cool setting for an Alien and Predator movie. I also appreciate too that Anderson actually decided to do a mix of practical effects and CG, and the two actually do blend well together. I expect the best parts of this film are definitely the climax, where Alexa and the last living predator have to work together in order to get out of the hive. I thought that was really cool, and I liked how they had to communicate through like this kind of sign language. I mean, honestly, part of me kind of wishes that like Alexa was just the main character, the only main character in the movie, and they cut out all the rest of the cast. Because, yeah, let's get into the problems the movie does legit have. All the characters in the film, with the exception of Alexa, are really, and Carl Bishop Wayland, played again by Lance Henriksen, with the exception of those two, all the other characters are pretty bland and forgettable. I actually heard that Paul W.S. Anderson wanted it. He took a lot of inspiration from the Alien movies when it comes to the characters, where I guess you grow to learn. I guess you grow to like them throughout the film or something like that. Um, and I get that, but I just wish he wrote any of these characters in at least a little bit more interesting. But I don't think this is like an awful movie. Um, and like some of the criticisms that the movie has gotten, I do personally feel are a bit dumb. Like all the like people complain about this movie being set in 2004, or I believe so. I believe that's the time period it takes place in. Um, I mean, I guess I get it, considering that the Alien movies take place in a science fiction future setting, but but the filmmakers have gone out of their way to state that the movie is not canon to either franchise, and the same thing applies to Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. So I mean, it's best to think of this movie kind of like kind of like a Marvel What If story. And by that standard, it's not bad. Even though, yes, there are some things that don't make a lot of sense, like why would the Predators build a pyramid underneath Antarctica when, like, they only see stuff via heat signatures, so why would they set a temple in the coldest part of the Earth? But it's a fun movie for what it is, and I've always enjoyed it for what it is. Coming in number 6 for me is Predators. This was the movie that you could argue practically at least kept the Predator series on life support after Aliens vs. Predator Requiem. And honestly, for what it is, it's a fun movie. The best part about this film is definitely its concept. The idea of 3 predators kidnapping some of the most dangerous killers on Earth is a brilliant concept. And they do get creative with it. There's a member of the Mexican cartel, plenty of soldiers, death row inmate, even a member of the Japanese Yakuza, which is awesome. Like I don't care if people find a Yakuza fighting a predator with a katana to be dumb. I love that scene. I really like that character actually. And to their and a lot of the casting in the film is really good for the most part. Walton Goggins, Danny Trejo, Lawrence Fishburne. Like this movie does have a really good cast, and almost all of them really fit their roles. Notice I say almost. The one that does stick out the most is Adrian Brody. Now, let me say this. Let me defend him a little bit. He is legit trying in this. He is trying to make his character work. But it really doesn't. I get that he's trying to play this apathetic asshole, and this badass soldier, but it really just doesn't work. He honestly looks way too scrawny. At least to be a soldier, honestly. I don't know. And his performance kind of seems like he's trying to come off like a half-assed Christian Bale Batman, at least when it comes to his voice. Which is already bad on its own, because I don't like Christian Bale's Batman. I like the Batman movies he was in, but I've never liked Christian Bale as Batman. I refuse to apologize. Even Topher Grace in this film, however, is actually really good. Topher Grace's casting actually works really well because, spoilers, it's revealed that his character is actually a serial killer. And it actually works because who the hell would suspect Topher Grace to be a serial killer? And you know what? He plays it pretty well. When he finally lets go that bumbling dumbass facade towards the end, it's legitimately intimidating and creepy. The 3 predators are fun. The movie has some great action and some pretty great and humorous lines. it definitely is a little bit more bland compared to the other Predator movies, but I still enjoy it very much, very much. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame that this film never got a follow up. I'd imagine that this is the part where people would start disagreeing with me, but in number 5 for me is Predator 2. Now, let me make this clear. I really enjoy this movie. I think it's a really fun time. And it really does, and I really have always appreciated the new ideas that this film has brought to the table. Taking the Predator and moving him away from the jungle into LA and having him hunt down gang members and police officers was a brilliant idea, and the movie does take full advantage of that. The cast is great. I love Danny Glover in this film. Bill Paxton, along with Vasquez from Aliens, which is great. Gary Busey is a ton of fun. The action is a ton of fun, even if it's a bit ridiculous at times. And this was the film this film did offer more on the Predators themselves, revealing that there's like a whole planet of these guys. Plus, I really love the set design towards the end inside the Predator ship. So why is this not higher on the list? Well, for me, it's really because of its tone. This movie definitely has a more cheesy and albeit goofy tone compared to the original Predator movie. And don't get me wrong, I really do like the tone, but it kind of works similar to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Texas Chainsaw 2, where I do appreciate how that sequel goes balls to the wall crazy, but like watching it back to back, it's a bit jarring. Albeit it's not as jarring here as with Texas Chainsaw 2, but it still is. But that's really the only reason why it's lower, why it's like not higher. Outside of that, I still very much enjoy this movie, and I still find it very much a fun time. At number 4 for me is the original Predator. Now again, like I said, I really enjoy this movie. I really do. In fact, this was number 1 on an official ranking list for years, and I will explain why it's lower. But let's talk about why this film is so good. Everything about this film makes it a masterclass of an action film. It has a likable cast. It has a likable cast of characters, a really good setting, some good action, some good effects, and how it really like tricks you like halfway through. You think it's going to be a fun over the top action film, but I love how when the Predators start showing up and taking the characters out, it suddenly turns into a bit of a horror thriller, and it genuinely works. I really, and while the characters definitely aren't as interesting as, say, the cast of Aliens, I still really do like a lot of the characters. And it does suck seeing them die. Arnold is so much fun in this movie too as Dutch. He is just a complete badass throughout the whole movie, and you're rooting for him the entire time. This movie definitely has one of my personal favorite Schwarzenegger performances, right up there with Terminator. The Predator itself looks incredible. From its look, its design, to the fact that that's a guy in a suit, and how the effects still look good years later. The Predator is just such a badass looking villain, and oh my god, who can forget the incredible one-liners? I ain't got time to bleed. Stick around. Get to the chopper. You're one holy motherfucker. I could quote lines from this movie all day. They're that good. And there's a reason why they have popped up in other Predator movies too, because that's how good a lot of these lines are. The only reason why it's not higher is because I personally like the other three Predator movies a lot more. But yeah, make no mistake, I love and adore this film. Coming up next for me is Predator Killer of Killers, and number 3. Now, I already did a review of this movie months ago, so I'll try to be brief. I really like how this movie pretty much takes what Prey did and expands upon it, and in the best way possible. I love all the different time periods that the movie goes to. My personal favorite is the sword, the one with the one between the one between the two Japanese brothers. That's my personal favorite, though that's most because I'm a sucker for samurai stories or ninja stories in general. But all the characters are incredibly likable, and all the stories have like really good themes about how of revenge costing everything you have left, or how sibling rivalries can destroy what was once there. But yeah, even the third story, which definitely is the weakest of the bunch, is still good. All the Predator designs are really cool and unique looking, and they all have their own distinct weapons. This is just a very fun movie. On top of that, the animation kicks ass. It was clearly inspired by the Spider-Verse movies, and it really shows, and it looks incredible. This movie does have some really fun action scenes, and a lot of it is thanks to it being animated. The only major criticism I have of the movie is I wish we just got a whole movie based on any one of these stories. That's really it. I just kind of wish we got more focus on these different time periods. And that's really about it. I still very much loved this movie, and I'm just a huge fan of what Dan Trachtenberg has done with the series. Coming in at number 2 for me is Prey. I love this movie. After how god-awful The Predator was, this movie felt like it went back to basics, while also offering a genuine, unique, great idea. This concept that Dan Trachtenberg came up with for both Prey and Predator Killer of Killers, it's actually an idea that Predator fans have played around with before. You can find a bunch of fan films online that have the Predator fight warriors or soldiers from different time periods. So the moment I saw the trailer for Prey and that they were going to be doing that, I was immediately on board, and it did not disappoint. The action is fantastic. I really the design of the Predator in this film kicks ass. It's honestly one of my favorite Predator designs, honestly. But the reason why I really enjoy this film is because, in my opinion, this is the first Predator movie that really was about something. And I think that's why I personally enjoy Dan Trachtenberg's Predator film so much. Dan Trachtenberg took a series, which, while I don't want to say it was just dumb, mindless action, it was simplistic. It was just badasses fighting aliens. But Dan takes the series and creates these stories that both shows respect to the original films, but also comes up with more interesting and deep ideas. I really love the main character of this film, Naru, I think her name is. I wish I could remember her name completely, my bad. But yeah, I love this character. The actress who played her did a fantastic job. And I love how, instead of the Predator seeing her as a badass, like in some of the other films, the Predator mostly just lets her go because he doesn't see her as a threat. And I find it hilarious, but awesome that Naru's like, no, I am a threat, damn it, treat me like a threat. It's a true underdog story, but in the best way possible. She's doing this not just to prove herself as a hunter, but she's doing it to show, but she's also doing it for her people and her brother. But yeah, I just love this movie. I loved it ever since I first saw it. I still love it today. And it was number 1 on my list until last night. And coming in at number 1 for me, and probably won't surprise anyone who's seen my review, is Predator Badlands. Now, this movie is still in theaters, so I'll try to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. I really, really enjoyed this film a lot. This is my personal favorite Predator movie. I loved the action. The action in the film is fantastic. The main character of the film, Deck, is great. Even the comic relief of the film, in particular Elle Fanning and this weird creature thing, even they are extremely entertaining and a lot of fun. The cinematography is also fantastic. I just love this film overall. This idea was fantastic from the start, making a Predator movie where a Predator is the main character, and Dan Trachtenberg knocked it out of the park. Now, I will say, this is definitely not the best made Predator film. You could definitely argue that Prey, Killer of Killers, or even the original Predator are much better made films, but I just had so much more fun with this one compared to the others. Which is shocking considering it's PG-13. That's still crazy to me, how I was able to have so much fun with the PG-13 Predator film. If that's not a testament to how good of a filmmaker and director Dan Trachtenberg is, I don't know what is. But yeah, I love this movie. I really adored it, and is to this day my number 1 favorite Predator movie. And that's my ranking of the Predator films. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Yeah, oh, and don't worry, I will get a video on 28 Days Later out sometime this week. I still need to finish watching it, and I also want to. I've just got a copy of Silent Night, Deadly Night, the original, and I want to watch that so I can be prepared for the remake coming out in December. But yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching. See you next time.